Good day, Grade 9. Welcome to English 9, Quarter 3, Week 1, with its most essential learning competency number 6, differentiate biases from prejudices. Our lesson title, Differentiating Biases from Prejudices, Part 1. The enabling competencies to be achieved are reflecting on speakers' ideas, sharing personal opinions on ideas listened to, forming decisions based on ideas mentioned. Please prepare your English 9 Learner's Pocket and get your pen and paper. And now, let us start. First, let us have a quick tour on your Learner's Pocket or LEAP. The Learner's Pocket contains the lesson title, the most essential learning competency or MELCs, content or core content of the lesson, as well as the enabling competencies, the learning phases, and suggested time. For the learning phases, it is composed of introduction, wherein you can find the lecture, discussion, information, as well as the examples of the topic. The second phase is development, where it provides different learning tasks to help us develop the target skill. The third phase is engagement, wherein it contains learning opportunities for the students as well as engaging activities that will help us to assess if you do really understood the lesson. The fourth phase is assimilation. In the LEAP, assimilation contains generalization or the summary of the whole lesson. And the fifth one is the assessment phase, wherein it has the summative assessment to find out or assess if you really do understood the target lesson or the target competencies of the lesson. And the last is reflection. It is activity wherein you will reflect on what you have learned from the whole lesson. Now, let us explore the introduction phase. Through accomplishing the learning task on this lesson, you will be given opportunities to reflect on speakers' ideas, share opinions, and form decisions based on the ideas presented to you. Eventually, it will help you to be more critical on evaluating ideas such as differentiating biases from prejudices, to form keen judgment and stand on social-related issues at present. Read the following comics, decide to which character you agree with, and state your reason. For the first comic strip, we have Nena and Popoy. Nena said, "I am into cold weather." Popoy said, "I enjoy the summer season." Whom do you agree with? State your answer by completing this statement. I agree with blank because. The second comic strip is Maria and Clara. Maria said, "I prefer waking up early and doing my tasks at dawn." Clara said, "I am nocturnal and feel more active finishing my task in the evening." Whom do you agree with? State your answer by completing this statement. I agree with because. In various occasions, you are asked to express your views or opinions on particular matters. When you do this, your statement may contain factual information or subjective content defined below. Factual information are statements that are verified or proven to be true. These are the information that are proven and truth. Subjective content involves judgment, feeling, opinion, intuition, or emotion, rather than factual. Let us look at the following example. For factual information, Jose Rizal wrote Noli Me Tangere. About 4.5 Filipinos have lost their jobs this year, with the unemployment rate of 10.4%, the highest in 15 years, the government reported due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Garnering 70% of viewers' vote, the finalists from Visayas won the reality show. Example for subjective content. For me, Jose Rizal's Noli Me Tangere is an eye-opener that helps us realize the ills of the society. In my opinion, the government should extend additional assistance to Filipinos who suffered from unemployment due to the pandemic. I believe the winner deserves victory due to his commendable social skills when dealing with others. The statements on the first column contain established facts, figures, and proven evidence to claim that the statements are true. On the other hand, the statements on the second column are about one's impressions, suggestions, and personal judgment on situations, respectively. Now, let us move on to the development phase through answering Learning Task 1. Read the video transcript of America's President Barack Obama, which you can find in your English 9 Leap Week 1. If you have internet access at home or gadget at home, you may watch the video on this link. The title of the transcript is There Were No Winners in This Government Shutdown. You can pause this video while reading the text. Let us continue answering the Learning Task 1. Identify which among the statements contain factual information or subjective content based on the transcript you have read. Write F for factual and S for subjective. Write your answers on your pad paper. Number 1. There were no winners in this government shutdown. Is it factual or subjective? It is subjective. It is based on the opinion of President Barack Obama. Second, at that time, when our economy needs more growth and more jobs, the manufactured crisis of these last few weeks actually harm jobs and growth. Is it factual or subjective? It is factual. It contains factual account or factual information. Third, the Senate had already passed a bill with strong bipartisan support. Is it factual or subjective? It is factual. Fourth, first, we should sit down and pursue a balanced approach to a responsible budget, one that grows our economy faster and shrink our long-term deficit further. Is it factual or subjective? It is subjective. It contains opinion and suggestion of President Barack Obama. Fifth and last, second, we should finish the job of fixing broken immigration system. There's already a broad coalition across America that's behind this effort, from business leaders to faith leaders to law enforcement. It would grow our economy. Is it factual or subjective? It is factual. Now that you are oriented with factual information and information with subjective content, let us move on to another learning task in the development phase, the Learning Task 2. This time, read an excerpt from President Manuel L. Quezon's speech. In your pad paper, write down 3 statements indicating factual information and 3 statements expressing subjective content from the speech. You can find the copy of the speech in your English 9 Leap Week 1. You can pause this video while reading. Now that you are finished reading the excerpt from President Manuel L. Quezon's speech, try to list down 3 statements with factual information and 3 statements with subjective content. You can refer from these examples. A statement with factual information from the speech: for over 300 years that Spain exercised sovereignty over the Philippines. Statement with subjective content: there was a time when it seems that it would be impossible for Filipinos to agree that one of the native languages be chosen as a national language. Now, let us have the engagement phase through answering Learning Task 3. For your task, choose one among the current issues given below and write an editorial article about it. These are the topics you can choose from: administration of COVID-19 vaccine, mental illness stigma in the Philippines, resumption of face-to-face classes. Your article should consist of 200 to 300 words. It should contain at least 2 sentences stating factual information and 3 sentences expressing subjective content. Underline or highlight these sentences. Write your article in one whole sheet of paper. Yes, if you are not familiar with editorial is a journalistic piece of writing that expresses writing's thoughts and opinion on a certain issue. It is an article in a newspaper or other periodicals or a website presenting opinion of the publisher, writer, or editor. In writing your editorial article, please be guided with this rubric. Now, to sum up the lesson, remember, factual information is defined as statements that can be verified or proven to be true. These are its indicators: figures or numeral data, result of researchers or researches, and general truth or established facts. On the other hand, subjective content is defined as statements that involve judgment, feeling, opinion, intuition, or emotion. Its indicators are personal views and comments, emotional inputs, individual preferences, adjectives based on one's perspective. It is important to know how to distinguish factual information from subjective content when listening to a speaker or reading an article when gathering information. For a situation that calls for a valuable input from you, such as when you ask about your stand on a particular issue, example, writing an editorial or making a speech, it is important that you know these 2 important concepts so that you may be able to balance them to form strong argument. For the assessment phase, read the following pairs of sentences. Decide which is factual and which is subjective between the 2. Write F for factual and S for subjective. Write your answers in your pad paper. Are you confident that you have answered all the items correctly? If yes, good work. For the reflection, reflect on what you have learned on this lesson about factual information and subjective content by completing the statements below. Write your answer on your pad paper. Number 1, the aspect of the lesson I believe I learned the most is the task which I found the most challenging is because I realized that I can use the things I've learned from this lesson when. Please complete these statements. If you have questions in accomplishing the learning task, do not hesitate to text, call, send a message via Messenger. I am willing to answer all your queries about the lesson. I hope that you have learned a lot about factual information and subjective content from these lessons. Thank you everyone and keep safe.